Oh, we're back. We're finally back. So, long story short, we did actually, or I actually did end up selling the Forester. After I filmed that video with putting the stock wheels back on, I listed it for sale that day and someone bought it a couple days later, which I was not expecting. I thought it would take a long time to sell that car, but apparently not. Someone really wanted it, which is good. But we have acquired a new car, being my dream car. You can probably tell it is a STI. Some of you fanboys probably already know what it is just from looking at the seats. So it is a white 2008 STI Spec R hatchback. The car I've wanted since I was a little kid. So I've actually had this car for 2 weeks actually, but I haven't really had the time to film a video with it yet because I didn't want to rush it or anything like that. Yeah, this is gonna be the new car for the channel. We're gonna be documenting this full build. Gonna be filming a lot of stuff with this car. So I hope most of you people like these kind of Subarus. I was gonna go for a blob eye and save this car for when I'm a bit older, because I bought it and then I'm like, oh, here we are. I've got my dream car. But the right one popped up. I wanted a white one. I wanted the Spec R. And one popped up, so yeah, here we are. Now this car is completely stock, which is good. I was gonna buy a Subi that was already built, like just go for an STI that already had a built motor so I could save a bit of money. But it kind of ruins the fun, right? Like, you want to be doing all that stuff yourself, and building a car from stock to exactly how you want it, which is what we're going to be doing with this car. So I already have an exhaust on the way because I cannot stand driving this car with no noise, but I've kind of just been soaking it all in and just enjoying this car like how in stock form, because you know this is a great example of how they came from the factory. And I have to say, going from a Forester to this is like, this car from factory is just like amazing. Like getting one of these back in the day, like you get in this, you feel like you can take any corner at any speed. You might not make it out alive, but it feels like that. Like obviously the STIs have different suspension, and it feels so nice. Like, so it's just nice, firm, and it's a nice like sporty feel. It doesn't feel like coilovers, it's just like a nice firm spring. Also the steering is like insanely touchy, like obviously because I have a shorter rack. The steering is just super precise, feels fucking amazing. And the 6-speed gearbox obviously is, you know, what makes these cars what is one of the biggest game changers for the STIs. And I can see why, obviously. Like, it's so notchy and it just feels bloody amazing. This clutch is pretty shit. I hate this clutch. It seems like a OEM clutch because it's very, very light, and I'm used to a heavy clutch on the Forester, so I'm not enjoying this clutch, but obviously we'll get that swapped in the future. Yeah, I'm heading to a spot now where we can park up. Don't let the videos of this car mistake you. As clean as it looks, it does need a bit of work before I even think about purchasing any modifications for this car. I have bought an exhaust, just a catback for now. I really would have thought that these cars would make a bit of noise from factory, like have some sort of sports muffler on it, but no, they don't make any noise at all really. But yeah, as I said, like the brakes need a bit of work. The rotors are just about done. I need to check the pads. It's making some bad clunky noises, so I'm assuming some bushings need to be replaced. The paint is extremely, you can't tell on camera obviously, but this white paint is extremely chalky, so it's gonna need like 10 hours of polishing, which is what I want to do next. Fully detail the interior and get a ceramic coating on the car, get it looking as best as I can before we start doing some modifications to it. Because yeah, this car is going to get probably pretty ridiculous over the years. Pretty sad that I sold the Forester, but I think it was the right time for it, and I was ready to move on because I was just dying to get into an STI. But yeah, this car is going to be insane. Like, I want big numbers out of this car, big power numbers. I'm not stancing it, I'm not going to put fancy wheels on it or anything like that. Obviously I'm going to lower it, but I want it to be very handle orientated. Like, I want to do big suspension upgrades, sway bars, strut braces, end links, like all that stuff, instead of just stancing it out and making the car almost undrivable. The difference between a normal STI and the Spec R, you get these BBS wheels that are, I believe they are lighter, it says. So you get some lighter wheels, you get this different style front bumper. I'll put a photo of a normal STI bumper up there for you. I think the Spec R bumper just looks so much better. I didn't even know, and the seats as well, the seats for the Spec R are just, mwah. I didn't even know the Spec R existed, like, until a couple years ago. Because when I was a kid, all I wanted was just a STI hatchback. I didn't know the Spec R was a thing. And then when I seen a photo of a Spec R, I just think they look so much better. It does have some sort of genuine STI lip. I'm not sure if that comes on the Spec R from factory, but I probably will keep that on there. I think it's a nice touch. Or I might go to a more aggressive lip. I don't know, but I can't sit here and talk about modifications this whole time, because the first thing, as I said, I want to do is get the paint fully protected, get the inside as clean as possible, take the seats out, do a full deep clean on the interior, and get this car mint before we start doing some modifications. So yeah, I hope you guys are excited for this car, because it's going to be a bloody ripper. I'm going to make this thing a bloody ripper. So we're going to get all this swirling out of the paint. The hood is very yellow. The person who had this car just did not take care of it. Like, how can you own this car and just neglect it like this? It has very bad paint fade, but it's all fixable. One of the tail lights was black and one of them was white for some reason, but I picked up a new tail light yesterday, so the rear is looking nice. We're going to take the wing off to fully polish under the wing and stuff like that, and just give this car like a massive once over. So I'm going to end it here. I'll hope to get a video out to you guys either this week or next week at most. Get a video out to you guys with the STI. As I said, the first thing we're going to be doing is just some detailing, but it's what you got to do. I can't start modifying the car like this. Like, it's so neglected, but that's all right. So I get all the clunky noises sorted out. Maybe I think some control arm bushings need to be replaced, something like that. Maybe the suspension is a bit knocky, but we will be going to coilovers. But yeah, I want to get this car super clean before we start modifying it.